Listen, it's coming whether you're ready or not. 2025, a new year, a new opportunity, a blank page waiting for you to write your name in bold, unshakable letters. You don't get to pause it. You don't get to slow it down. It's moving and it's coming fast. The question isn't whether the new year will arrive. The question is, will you be ready when it does? Too many people want next year to be different, but they're doing the same things that got them stuck. You want change? You want success? You want to feel different, look different, live different? Then you've got to move different. You've got to step up, stand tall, and walk into 2025 like you own the place. Because let me tell you something. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand you success. Nobody's going to knock on your door and say, hey, I noticed you wanted a better life, so here it is. It doesn't work like that. You get what you work for, not what you wish for. Some of you have been talking about changing for years. Next year, I'm going to start that business. Next year, I'm going to get in shape. Next year, I'm going to stop wasting time on people who don't value me. Well, guess what? Next year's knocking. And if you don't answer the door with a plan, you're going to find yourself in the same place, making the same excuses, watching the same people pass you by. You've got to start now. Not next week, not next month. Now. Because the truth is, success isn't about a date on the calendar. Success is built in the dark, in the quiet, when nobody's watching. It's built in the choices you make when no one's holding you accountable. It's built when you wake up early, put in the work, and do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. That's the difference between people who win and people who don't. Winners don't wait for motivation. They don't wait for the right time. They don't sit around hoping for inspiration to strike. Winners take action. Winners get up and get it done. And listen, I know it's not easy. I know it's tempting to fall back into old habits, to settle into what's comfortable. But comfort zones don't produce champions. They don't create legends. They don't make history. Comfort zones are where dreams go to die. So I'm telling you right now, you want to make 2025 your year, you've got to get uncomfortable. You've got to push yourself beyond what you think you can handle. You've got to be willing to sacrifice the distractions, the laziness, the excuses. You've got to wake up with a mission and go to sleep knowing you gave it everything you had. Because at the end of the day, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the work you refuse to do. So I need you to decide right now, are you going to walk into 2025 as the same person you were this year? With the same problems, the same regrets, the same unfinished goals? Or are you going to step into the new year with power, with purpose, with a fire inside you so strong that nothing and no one can stop you? If you wait for the right time, you'll be waiting forever. That's the biggest mistake people make. They sit around hoping for the stars to align, waiting for motivation to strike, thinking they need everything to be perfect before they begin. But let me tell you something. There is no perfect time. There is no ideal moment. The only time you have is now. Every day you wait is a day lost. Every excuse you make is another opportunity slipping through your fingers. You say you'll start when you feel ready. You say you'll take action when things settle down. You say you'll go after your dreams when the timing is better. But what if I told you the only reason you're not where you want to be is because you keep waiting? Successful people don't wait. They don't hope. They don't sit around expecting things to magically fall into place. They move. They take action. They make things happen. Because they understand something most people don't. Success isn't about luck. It's about effort. It's about consistency. It's about showing up every single day and putting in the work, even when you don't feel like it. Some people spend their whole lives wishing for something to change, but never do anything to make it happen. They talk about their dreams, but they never take the first step. They have all these plans in their head, but they never put them into motion. And then years go by, and they wonder why nothing is different. You have to stop waiting for permission to go after what you want. Nobody is going to give it to you. Nobody is going to tell you, now is the time. You have to decide that for yourself. You have to wake up every morning and say, this is my time. This is my moment. This is the day I start changing my life. It doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter how many times you've failed in the past. It doesn't matter what obstacles are in your way. What matters is what you do next. What matters is the action you take today. Because what you do today will determine where you are tomorrow. You want success? Start now. You want to get in shape? Start now. You want to build that business, learn that skill, improve your life? Start now, not next week, not next month, now. Because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The longer you wait, the more excuses you'll come up with. The longer you wait, the more comfortable you'll become in the same place you said you wanted to leave. And don't tell yourself you don't have time. Don't tell yourself you're too busy, because if something matters to you, you'll make time for it. If something is important, you'll find a way. You can spend hours watching TV, scrolling through social media, doing things that add nothing to your life. But you say you don't have time? No. The problem isn't time. The problem is how you're using it. The truth is, people don't like to take action because it's uncomfortable. It's hard. It forces them to step outside of what they're used to. And that's why most people never get where they want to be, because they let fear, doubt, and procrastination hold them back. You have to be different. You have to be the person who doesn't wait, who doesn't hesitate, who doesn't let fear stop them from moving forward. You have to be the person who gets up and gets things done, no matter what. You have to train yourself to act, to take steps toward your goals every single day, even if they're small steps, even if they don't seem like much, because every step you take brings you closer to where you want to be. Stop thinking so much. Stop overanalyzing. Stop doubting yourself. Stop worrying about what other people think. Just start. Just do it. Just take the first step. Because once you do, you'll realize that action creates momentum, and momentum creates progress, and progress creates results. You don't need to have everything figured out before you begin. You don't need to know exactly how things will turn out. You just need to start. Because once you start, you'll learn along the way. You'll grow, you'll adjust, you'll find solutions to the problems you didn't even know existed. But you won't get there if you never take that first step. You might fail, you might struggle, you might face setbacks, but that's part of the process. That's part of growth. Every successful person has failed at some point. Every successful person has had moments of doubt. Every successful person has been in a position where they didn't know what to do next. But they kept going. They kept pushing forward. They kept taking action. And that's why they made it. So what's stopping you? What's holding you back? Is it fear? Is it self-doubt? Is it the voice in your head telling you you're not good enough? Let me tell you something. That voice is a liar. That fear is an illusion. That self-doubt is nothing more than a roadblock you put in your own way. And the only way to overcome it is to move forward anyway. You have everything you need to succeed. You have the ability, you have the strength, you have the potential. But none of that matters if you don't take action. None of that matters if you don't get up and do something about it. So don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for inspiration. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. Decide that today is the day you start changing your life. Decide that today is the day you stop making excuses. Decide that today is the day you take action and never look back. Because when you look back a year from now, the only thing that will matter is whether you started today or not. Comfort is the enemy of progress. It keeps you in the same place, living the same life, making the same choices, and wondering why nothing ever changes. You tell yourself you want more, you want better, you want to grow, but every time you get close to stepping outside your comfort zone, you hesitate. You pull back. You retreat to what's familiar because it feels safe. But let me tell you something. Nothing great ever happens in your comfort zone. The moment you choose comfort over challenge, you choose stagnation over growth. You choose mediocrity over excellence. You choose to stay exactly where you are instead of moving toward where you want to be. And deep down, you know it. You know there's more out there for you. You know you're capable of bigger things. You know you're meant to do more, be more, achieve more, but the fear of stepping into the unknown keeps holding you back. You weren't put on this earth to live an average life. You weren't meant to stay small, to settle, to accept less than what you're capable of. But every time you avoid discomfort, every time you choose the easy path, every time you tell yourself, maybe later, you rob yourself of your own potential. You rob yourself of opportunities, of experiences, of success. The people who win in life aren't the ones who take the easy road. They're the ones who are willing to be uncomfortable. They're the ones who embrace the struggle, push through the pain, and keep going even when it's hard, because they understand that growth only happens in discomfort. They understand that to become something greater, they have to endure challenges that most people run away from. Think about every moment in your life when you grew, when you evolved, when you became better. It wasn't when things were easy. It wasn't when everything was going smoothly. It was when you were tested. It was when you were pushed beyond what you thought you could handle. It was when you had no choice but to rise to the occasion. That's where growth happens. That's where real transformation takes place. But too many people want to grow without struggle. They want change without discomfort. And that's why they stay stuck. That's why they keep repeating the same patterns, living the same life, complaining about the same problems. Because they refuse to do the one thing that would set them free. They refuse to step out of their comfort zone. You have to rewire the way you think about discomfort. You have to stop seeing it as something to avoid and start seeing it as the price you pay for success. Because the truth is, discomfort is a sign that you're doing something right. It's a sign that you're pushing yourself, that you're stretching your limits, that you're moving towards something bigger. When you feel uncomfortable, that's not a signal to stop. It's a signal to keep going. It's a sign that you're growing. And if you can learn to embrace that feeling instead of running from it, you'll unlock a level of potential you never even knew existed. So ask yourself, what's really stopping you from stepping outside your comfort zone? Is it fear? Fear of failing? Fear of looking foolish? Fear of what other people will think? Because if that's what's holding you back, you have to understand something. Fear is an illusion. It's nothing but a story you tell yourself. And the only way to beat fear is to face it. The only way to overcome it is to move forward in spite of it. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to feel uncertain. You're going to have moments where you doubt yourself. But that's part of the process. That's how you grow. That's how you become stronger. That's how you transform into the person you were meant to be. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Because you're never going to feel ready. You're never going to wake up one day and suddenly have no fear, no doubt, no hesitation. That's not how it works. The only way to get rid of fear is to do the very thing you're afraid of. The only way to grow is to step into the unknown and trust yourself enough to figure it out along the way. You don't need all the answers before you start. You don't need to have everything planned out perfectly. You just need to take the first step. And then another. And then another, and before you know it, you'll realize you're stronger than you thought, more capable than you believed, and braver than you ever imagined. The life you want, the success you dream of, the person you aspire to be, it's all waiting for you on the other side of your comfort zone. But you have to be willing to leave behind what's familiar. You have to be willing to walk into uncertainty. You have to be willing to struggle, to fail, to face challenges head on, because that's the only way you're going to grow into the person you're destined to become. So don't let comfort steal your future. Don't let fear control your decisions. Don't let doubt keep you small. Step out, take action, move forward. Because the only way to change your life is to do the things that scare you the most. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's going to show up one day and hand you the life you want. Nobody is going to do the work for you. If you want something, you have to go get it. If you want success, you have to create it. If you want to change your life, you have to be the one to make it happen. Too many people are waiting for the right time, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for someone to recognize them, help them, believe in them. But waiting is the fastest way to lose, because the world doesn't owe you anything. Nobody owes you a chance. Nobody owes you an opportunity. The only person responsible for your success, your growth, and your future is you. You see people out there winning, making moves, building their dreams, and you wonder why it hasn't happened for you. But have you put in the work? Have you sacrificed? Have you been consistent when nobody was watching? Because the truth is, most people don't fail because they aren't capable. They fail because they're waiting for something to happen instead of making it happen. You have to stop looking for shortcuts. Stop looking for easy routes. Stop hoping someone will come along and give you the life you want. If you want something bad enough, you'll figure out a way to get it. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. And that's what separates the winners from the ones who stay stuck. The winners don't complain. They don't sit around blaming their circumstances. They don't wait for a handout. They take control, they take ownership, they take action. Nobody is going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself first. Nobody is going to invest in you if you don't invest in yourself first. Nobody is going to fight for you if you're not willing to fight for yourself first. So if you're waiting for permission, stop. If you're waiting for motivation, stop. If you're waiting for someone to rescue you, stop, because it's never going to happen. The only person who can change your life is staring back at you in the mirror. Success isn't something you stumble into. It's something you build, brick by brick, step by step. And the moment you take full responsibility for your life, the moment you stop expecting someone else to fix things for you, is the moment everything changes. Because now you're in control. Now you decide, now you stop waiting and start doing. You can't afford to waste time thinking about what could have been, what should have been, or what someone else didn't do for you. That mindset will keep you trapped. That mindset will keep you bitter, keep you stuck, keep you small. And the longer you hold on to it, the further you fall behind. It's not about where you come from. It's not about what you've been through. It's about what you do next. It's about how you show up today, how you move forward, how you take the cards you've been dealt and play them to win. Because there is always a way. Always. But you have to be willing to find it. You have to be willing to struggle for it. You have to be willing to outwork everybody else for it. You think the people who are winning had it easy? You think they just got lucky? No. They struggled. They failed. They fell down more times than they can count. But they got back up. They kept moving. They kept pushing forward, even when nobody believed in them, even when the odds were against them, even when they felt like quitting. And that's why they made it. That's why they're ahead. Because they didn't wait for someone to save them. They saved themselves. You have to decide right now that you're done making excuses. You're done waiting. You're done hoping someone will come along and change your life for you, because nobody is coming, and that's not a bad thing. That's the best news you could ever hear, because it means you don't have to rely on anyone else. It means your future is in your hands. It means you have the power to turn things around at any moment. You have two choices. You can sit back and let life happen to you, or you can get up and make life happen for you. And if you're tired of being stuck, if you're tired of waiting, if you're tired of watching other people live the life you want, then do something about it. Take action. Move. Get started, because the longer you wait, the further away your dreams get. It's time to step up. It's time to stop hoping and start doing. It's time to stop looking for help and start helping yourself. Because once you take ownership of your life, once you realize that you and you alone are responsible for your success, nothing can stop you. Nothing can break you. Nothing can stand in your way. Because now you're in control. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the deciding factor between those who succeed and those who never make it. Talent isn't enough. Intelligence isn't enough. Motivation isn't enough, because all of those things come and go. But discipline is what keeps you moving when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what separates the great from the average. Discipline is what turns dreams into reality. Everybody wants success, but not everybody is willing to be disciplined enough to achieve it. Everybody wants to be fit, but not everybody is willing to wake up early and train when they don't feel like it. Everybody wants to be wealthy, but not everybody is willing to sacrifice, save, and invest when it's easier to spend money on temporary pleasures. Everybody wants a better life, but not everybody is willing to put in the work when nobody is watching. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It means showing up when you're tired, when you're unmotivated, when you'd rather be doing anything else. It means staying focused when distractions are pulling you in every direction. It means committing to the process, no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many excuses try to creep in. There's a reason why most people never reach their full potential. Because discipline isn't comfortable. It's not easy. It's not fun. It requires sacrifice. It requires patience. It requires pushing through the hard days, the slow progress, the moments of doubt. And that's where most people give up. That's where most people fold. That's where most people decide it's too hard, too much, too painful. But the ones who make it, they keep going anyway. You have to train yourself to be disciplined. You have to make it a habit. You have to get to a point where you don't even think about it anymore. It's just what you do. You wake up early. You put in the work. You stay focused. You follow through on your commitments. Not because you feel like it, but because it's who you are. Because you've trained yourself to do what needs to be done no matter what. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. If you rely on motivation to get things done, you'll never be consistent. You'll never make real progress. Because the moment motivation fades, you'll stop. You'll slack off. You'll tell yourself you'll get back to it later. But later turns into next week, next month, next year. And before you know it, you're in the same place, living the same life, making the same excuses. You can't afford to let your feelings control your actions. You can't afford to let laziness, doubt, or distraction dictate your future. Discipline is about making a decision and sticking to it. It's about setting a goal and doing what it takes to achieve it, no matter how you feel in the moment. It's about taking control of your habits, your actions, your mindset. The most successful people in the world aren't the smartest. They're not the most talented. They're the most disciplined. They understand that success isn't about big, flashy moments. It's about the small, consistent actions repeated every single day. It's about waking up and putting in the work when nobody else will. It's about grinding when others are resting. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. You have to be disciplined with your time. Time is your most valuable resource, and once it's gone, you don't get it back. Every minute you waste scrolling, procrastinating, making excuses, that's time you could have used to build your future. That's time you could have used to work on your goals, to improve yourself, to take one more step toward the life you want. You have to be disciplined with your habits. Your success is built on what you do every single day, not once in a while, not when you feel like it, but every day. If you don't control your habits will control you. If you don't discipline yourself to wake up early, to eat right, to train, to study, to work hard, then you're letting distractions and bad habits dictate your future. You have to be disciplined with your mind. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you let negativity, doubt, and excuses take over, that's exactly what your life will reflect. But if you train your mind to stay focused, to stay committed, to stay resilient, nothing can stop you. No obstacle will break you. No setback will keep you down, because your mindset is stronger than anything that tries to stand in your way. Discipline is what will separate you from the rest. Because while everybody else is making excuses, you'll be making progress. While everybody else is quitting when it gets hard, you'll be pushing forward. While everybody else is waiting for motivation, you'll already be halfway to the finish line. If you want to win in life, you have to make discipline a non-negotiable. You have to wake up every day with the mindset that no matter how you feel, no matter what distractions come your way, no matter what challenges try to stop you, You will stay committed. You will keep moving. You will do what needs to be done. Because success isn't given to those who want it. It's given to those who are disciplined enough to earn it. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be an easy path. There will never be a moment where everything falls into place without effort. The only way forward is through discipline, consistency, and an unshakable belief in yourself. You can't wait for motivation. You can't wait for approval. You can't wait for someone to tell you it's your time. Your time is when you decide it is. Your success is when you commit to making it happen. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you the life you want. It's on you. It's always been on you. And that's the best news you could ever hear. Because it means you are in control. It means you get to decide. It means every single thing you want is within reach if you're willing to work for it. No more waiting, no more excuses, no more looking back. This is your moment. This is your year. This is your time to rise, to push, to build, to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. The world isn't going to give you a chance. You have to take it. The world isn't going to make it easy. You have to earn it. The world isn't going to wait for you. You have to step up and claim what's yours.